Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about pendulums and how to use them as a form of divination. Now, in the reading about gifts, talents, tools, and skills that we did yesterday, there was a pile that really had a strong divination skill set vibe that was going on. So I thought today would be a good day to start with something really simple that anyone can do, which is reading a pendulum for yes or no answers. And then we'll go on and we'll talk about how to use a pendulum to get more in-depth answers by using a board. Okay, so first off, a pendulum is anything that can swing back and forth, right? So you can use one with stones on the bottom, like what we have here. This is a garnet. This is an amethyst. This is obsidian. This is kambaba jasper, otherwise known as crocodile jasper. This is orca, and this is blue goldstone. Okay, but it can be made out of any stones. I've seen them made out of just about any stone. They can also be made out of metal. This has copper on the end of it. It can be made with an acorn on the end. I've seen that work. Me personally, anything that can swing, I've been able to use as a pendulum. I've even used my purse in a pinch. I've used a sweatshirt in a pinch. Anything that can swing freely can be used. One of the things that's great about using ones with stones or different pendulums on the end, like you can use my necklace here with the key, is that you can add extra energy to the reading. So for example, with the obsidian, you're adding extra grounding and protection. The garnet is great for questions that pertain to love, self-confidence, passion. If you have questions about the unknown, the divine, mystic side, sometimes the amethyst can give it a little bit of a boost. Okay, and so on, depending on what it is that you are trying to accomplish. All right, so first we're going to start with asking a simple yes or no question. So I'm going to use mine, and before I had understood about the metaphysical world, I had been using a diviner pendulum pretty much my whole life to just ascertain the sex of racing home or pigeons that I used to race. And it works on people too. It works on just about any living creature. You can also ascertain the sex of a baby inside its mother's womb this way, and I can show you how that works as well. But let's start by showing you a simple yes or no. So I want you to be able to see the full pendulum, but with this you can't really see my hand, can you? Okay, just know that I'm not going to be moving my hand to make this happen. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see my hand as well. Okay, so there, that allows you to see the pendulum in my hand. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start with it showing you no. Okay, so no, please show us no. As you can see, my hand is not moving it, and yet it is moving. This back and forth motion, that is no. If you are trying to ascertain the sex of a living creature or a baby in the womb, this stands for a boy, the masculine, male. Okay? Okay, please stop. All right. Now, If you want to show yes, then you put your intentions into it and you ask it, please show me yes. And it will go in a circle. Okay. This one's going clockwise at the moment. All right. This yes is also, if you're trying to ascertain the sex of an animal or a baby, is female, the feminine energy. Okay. Now, this, like I said, this works on anything you want to try. So let me show you one of the stone ones. Let's see, that one's a bit. Let's show one of the shorter chained ones, so you can still see my hand and see that it's not moving or manipulating the short of energy. Okay, so once again, I'm going to show you no. Okay, so it's going back and forth, side to side. That is no. Okay, please stop. Thank you. Now, we're going to show yes. Please show everyone yes. Okay, so it's going around in a circle without any sort of manipulation from my hand, as you can see. Okay, now this can be done anytime that you would like to divine a straightforward yes or no answer. Now, it needs to be a very clearly worded question. Okay. For example, if you are saying, is my husband or my wife going to file for divorce? Okay, this is a very loaded question, right? It can be really emotionally driven. Okay. However, and it can say no, and you go, oh, I'm so relieved, right? But you didn't ask and you say, if you've gone and you walk away, you didn't ask the question, am I going to file for divorce for my spouse? You know, that's something that happens where the spouse says, oh, I want a divorce, right? And then you're the one that files instead of them. So you only have part of an answer to this equation, right? And that's true of any question, okay? Specifics when it comes to pendulums are very important. It is critical that you word your questions in a straightforward, clear-cut, no room for confusion, okay, sort of question and answer. Now, I have to tell you, never ever make a decision in your life based off of what a pendulum tells you, okay? This is a tool to confirm or deny something within yourself. So, for example, if you ask that same question, is my husband or wife going to file for divorce? And the pendulum says no. And you're disappointed in that answer. Then the pendulum has given you exactly the answer that you needed to hear for you to fully understand what is going on within yourself, okay? To fully better understand the emotions that are going on inside of you. If the pendulum had said, yes, they are filing for divorce, and you were shattered, you were heartbroken, okay, then this tells you that this is not a step that you're really wanting to take. This is not a step that you're really ready for. And then that enlivens the spirit to see, what is it that I can do or we can do to remedy this situation so this doesn't happen, you know, whether it's couples counseling or whatever it is that you need. Okay. Now, it doesn't have to be something so drastic or dramatic as a divorce. But in this particular case, it's one of those questions where you really need to be careful what you're asking, how you're asking, and not take the answer as a guidance for your life. Okay. The pendulum isn't out to wreck your life. That is not what this is about. It doesn't possess that power. Only you possess that power, okay? And the pendulum is fueled by your energy. So if you are feeling particularly emotional about something and you're throwing all of that emotion into it, and in your brain you're begging the pendulum, say yes or say no, the pendulum is going to respond to that energy. Okay, and it's going to give you an answer. Might be the one you're wanting because that's what energy you're putting into it. So when you use the pendulum, especially in something important, do your best to clear your mind, to clear and settle your emotions, have a balanced internal space. Meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, taking a hike in the woods, whatever it is that works best for you. Okay? Now, in a pinch, you can't always go, all right, see you guys, I've got to run through the woods really quick so I can ask a question. That's not really practical for life, is it, most of the time? So finding ways to just take a deep breath, settle and calm that internal space, okay? Maybe settle, use some of your crystals to align and balance your chakras, just depending on how much time you have and how you wish to approach it, okay? All right, so we are going to ask the pendulum some questions, okay? And I'm going to show you how it can respond to that. But I also want to point out that regardless of what this says, regardless of what the pendulum may say, if you have a problem with someone, okay, just talk it out. The best way to get answers about anything is just to ask the questions of the person involved if you can, right? Be compassionate, be respectful, be loving, be kind as much as you can. But the best form of divining an answer is to flat out ask the other party what's going on, okay? All right, so let us see. We'll use this one again. It's got a shorter chain so you can see. Now, when you're first training with a pendulum, first start with the exercise I showed you of saying no. Right? Stop, please. Thank you. And yes. And just practice with that. If you don't get a result right away, that's okay. Just take your time and work with it, okay? Maybe you need a different stone, maybe you need a different pendulum, maybe you need to calm that internal space, okay? Now, start off with something simple. You can ask it its name, although sometimes if you ask what your name is, you may get a surprising answer, right? Because the universe doesn't always, and you don't always identify with the name you were given by your parents, right? So that one was surprising when I first started out, and it told me my name wasn't my name. I'm like, okay, but then I asked it about my middle name, and it said yes. Well, that was because I love my middle name. That is how on my inside I identify myself, even though the outside world identifies myself as my given first name, right? So, that knowing those things about yourself can also. So if you answer something straightforward and simple. So for example, I'm going to ask the question, is there snow on the ground outside? Okay. And there is. It's winter time here where I'm at in the northern hemisphere. And so, yes, there is snow on the ground outside. As you can see, it's going in a circle. Okay. We're going to ask another question we know the answer to that's very straightforward and simple. And we're going to ask it and say, is it summer outside in the northern hemisphere? And obviously it's not if there's snow on the ground, right? So it's giving us the no answer. Okay, so if you start off with very straightforward, simple questions that you already know the answers to, then that will help you practice and get a firm idea of how the pendulum and you work together. Okay. It's almost scientific in that nature, in that, when they were doing carbon-14 dating, when they first started out, they had to get a sample, right? They used it on things they already knew the age for, to make sure that they were getting accurate readings, right? And so it's kind of like that with the pendulum. You want to ascertain first that the pendulum does actually work for you. Okay. It's a similar energy to divining for water. Okay. There's actually a movie Russell Crowe starred in about a true story, based off a true story, where this gentleman, sons went off to war, and he received word that they had died, and he didn't know where their bodies were, and so he went to find his sons' bodies, and he used his water divining abilities. You can use 2 sticks, you can use 2 pieces of copper, and then when they come together naturally, like this, to cross each other, that is where your water is. Or it works for electrical lines and ley lines and things like that. It shows you where that is as well. And this gentleman found his son's body by doing this. I won't tell you the rest of the movie in case you want to watch it. I don't want to give away the surprise at the end. But if you are interested in divination, water divining, also known as witching for water, or the pendulums and that sort of thing, it actually is an interesting movie that's based off of a true story. Okay, the guy did find his son using that method. All right, now I'm going to show you a board that can help you to get some more in-depth answers than just yes or no. Okay, so this is just a sample board. You can create your own board by wood burning or writing on it. You can get them made out of stone or crystal themselves. There's just a wide range of boards. This is just a sample, okay, that comes with a kit that you can buy online. A friend of mine is letting me borrow this for this. I tend to use other things. Okay, so as you can see on this board, if you are asking a question, it also has the yes, no. Now in this case, the yes, no is not going to go back into a circle for the yes, right? Because you have a different intention. You are telling the crystal that there's a different intention here. It's not going to give you the circle for yes. It's going to swing back and forth over the yes space, and it'll swing back and forth for the no space. If your question isn't clear and there's not an answer that is clear to be had, sorry that that's so blurry, then there's ones that say maybe, try again, ask in a different way, that sort of thing. Now, if you are asking a question about when something is going to happen, there's the days of the week, there's the months of the year, okay, and there are some numbers here as well. So you can get a fair idea of a timeline. Now, bear in mind that when it's a circle like this, then it's swinging between different ones. So just, you need to be aware that when you're swinging and it's saying November, it's also going to swing this way, and it's going to go between June and July. So, or May and June, May and June. Okay, so be alert and aware of what message is being given to you. Now, if you are asking about a who of a situation, then you can utilize this zodiac sign situation for what the person's zodiac sign might be, months, days that they were born, but you can also utilize these letters here to get a name spelled out or initials. Okay. Now, once again, as I said, with the pendulum, please do not make life-altering decisions using this form of divination. The best thing you can do is just ask the person involved if you are dealing with a person. Okay? All right, now I will show you if I don't know if you'll be able to see it like this. Sorry, my setup is not ideal for this exact situation. Let's see if we can make it work, however. So, we are going to ask what month it is, okay? So we're going to ask the pendulum, what month is it? And I have January here as the beginning of the year facing me right here in front of me, okay? And when we are filming this, it is indeed the month of January. And as you can see, it's swinging towards January. Okay? All right. Now stop. Okay. Now, we are going to ask it what the zodiac sign for January is. Okay? What is the zodiac sign for January, which is a Capricorn energy? And the Capricorn zodiac is right here where my finger is. And as you can see, it is swinging in that direction. Okay? All right. Now, if you want to know, let's use numbers, for example, okay? Here's the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So 1 is here. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep my finger here so you can see, okay? And we're going to ask, what is the number of the month of January in the calendar that we use in the United States today, right? And as you can see, the pendulum is moving towards the number 1, okay? So when using the board, start off by asking it questions you know the answer to, okay? All right. Now, we'll use it to work with the letters too, so I can show you. Now, we have from A all the way through Z on here, okay? And the letter J is right here. So I'm going to ask it, what letter does the month January start with? Okay. And it's going to show us that January does indeed start with the letter J. As you can see, it's going right towards my finger. Okay. All right. Now, for the days of the year, days of the week, right? We have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, today, the day that I'm filming this, is a Thursday. Okay, so I'm going to place my finger here where Thursday is, and we're going to ask it, what is today? What day is today? Okay, and as you can see, it is swinging straight for Thursday. Okay. All right. So, now, you can ask the pendulum to show you a wide range of information using this method with the letters and the numbers and timings and things like that. The pendulum is not as in-depth as the tarot or the oracle or the runes even. It's just not. But if you are looking for a straightforward answer to something and you understand how your own energies can influence said answer, then this is a way to sometimes get confirmation on what you yourself already know to be true. Or if you're fretting and worrying about something and you just really need some reassurance, make sure you calm yourself. And remember, you can also get yes or no answers from the tarot, okay? Each tarot card is given a yes or no signature, and if you're aware of what those are, you can also get a yes or no answer from the tarot as well, okay? And as I said before, no matter what form of divination that you are using, do not base your life's choices on that. It is a tool, it can be a guide, it can be a comfort, it can give you a warning so that you can protect yourself, but it is not a substitute for logic and reason in making life's choices. Okay, I hope that you found this video to be helpful and useful. If you did, please let me know in the comments if there was anything that you felt could have been improved upon. I realize my setting in this situation is a little bit lacking. I had to be a little bit flexible today on that. But if you want to share anything with me, please do. Remember to be gentle and kind. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, you are beautiful, you are loved, and you are talented. Explore your spiritual side and see what happens. Let me know in the comments what results you get from this, and if you enjoyed it and had fun. Right? I hope you all have a good evening. It might not be evening for you when you get this. Sorry, I shouldn't put times in these, should I? But I hope you're having a great time. Winter can be a little difficult for people, a little bit gray. So I hope that some of these videos help you to carry a little bit of sunshine into this cold and bleary time here in the Northern Hemisphere. All right, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.